Darko, a specialist topic today, M&A carve-out transactions. Can you describe what they are?
Okay, so M&A carve-out, they start with the carve-out, as the name says. And the carve-out basically means that a part of a company is carved out, so separated, and then sold to somebody else.
How common are they?
Well, to be honest, surprisingly common, especially among larger enterprises, because when an enterprise is growing, they have a lot of different business verticals and. And at one point, when they try to consolidate or rethink their strategy, they see that parts of their business are actually not in line with what they want to do for the future. So when that happens, they usually think about carve-outs, so how they can actually carve out parts of their business and how they can then sell off those parts to interested parties.
A lot of companies won't run full and separate financials for each division. They'll have grouped overheads and things like that. How do you work out the valuation for a division that's being carved out?
So it does require, if you want to do it properly and to maximize both the success of that as well as valuation in the end, you need to do the carve-out properly. And that includes that you need to set it up as a separate entity that's self-sustainable, at least to a certain extent. You need to define how you will separate exactly those costs and resources that you have mentioned. And when you do that, you are then able to properly sell it off, because nobody on the other side, nobody of the potentially interested parties will be interested to invest and acquire a carve-out that is very much still tied to the mother company. So you need to do those steps basically in advance.
Absolutely. And what steps are there that are specific to a carve-out that you wouldn't see in a normal M&A process?
So this part that we already talked about, how to basically set up a separate entity, so that you need to ensure that it has their own accounting, finance, management, and so forth. That's one part that you would not normally see with other types of M&A. And the second part is also connected with basically various audits and similar. Because when you do the carve-out, you also need to properly separate the financials. And it means that you will need to invest quite a bit more than you would otherwise in financial professionals and auditors and so forth.
That makes sense. Darko, thank you very much, and I look forward to our next talk.
Thanks, Anton. Interested to learn more? Visit www.dg180.ch and get in touch.